Hi, I'm Tony Hawk, pro skater. What you call a varial, as in varial flip, is actually a shove it. A varial is done only by using your hand and turning the board.
Alright, so when I watched this little service announcement video, guys, all I could think of was that is just too late. And especially coming from a guy like Tony Hawk. It's in pretty much all of his skateboarding games, and he even does a trick tip on it where he calls it a varial kickflip.
A varial kickflip is a kickflip and a shove it all at once.
Let's just start from the beginning, right? We are going to play some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and in this game, the varial is actually a varial
using your hand.
Let's jump ahead to Pro Skater 2, and here they changed the real varial with a varial kickflip. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, varial kickflip, varial heel flip. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, it's a varial kickflip or a varial heel flip. Tony Hawk's Underground 2, because I don't have number 1, but it's a varial kickflip and a varial heel flip. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, it's a varial kickflip, varial heel flip. Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, it's a varial kickflip or varial heel flip. Tony Hawk's Project 8, varial. Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, varial. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, it's a varial. And Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam for Game Boy Advance, it's a varial. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix for PSP, it's a varial. Tony Hawk's American Skateland, varial kickflip and varial heel flip. It's not called a kickflip shove or heel flip shove in any of these games. The reason I think they kind of changed it from the varial to a varial kickflip is just because, you know, you couldn't land the varial on flat ground. But hey, Tony should have seen that and then said, hey guys, can we change the name to a kickflip shove or a heel flip shove? Because that's what it's called. I started skateboarding because of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, I think. I learned that it was called a varial kickflip from your game, Tony. And the same thing about your trick tips. A lot of people has watched those Secrets of Skateboarding trick tips and actually learned that it's called a varial kickflip. So I don't really know if this was just Steve Barra being like, people are saying the wrong name, because he says heel flip shove, I know that, and other people like Reynolds. So maybe he's doing all these now you know segments and want to have like big pro skaters teaching you guys that what you're saying is wrong. Like for example the Caballerial. Steve Caballero taught us that you can't do a nollie Caballerial. It's only fakie. You know, Tony is a big person to like come on there and teach people, but Tony, it's just too late. And you kind of just went with it for like 16 years? Now you're like, it's wrong. That's kind of lame, I'm sorry. Alright, so if you guys can follow me on this, give this video a like. I just want to finish it off with maybe a kickflip down the Gons gap. So also have Tony Hawk's Shred, but that would just take too long to get a varial kickflip or varial heel flip for you guys, because that game is just random. Plus I made the controller into an actual skateboard. I thought that would be more fun than actually playing Tony Hawk's Shred. Ever since Proving Ground, the Tony Hawk game franchise has really been going downhill. Okay.